Dennis, please.
Big game Friday night. Just quite an atmosphere down at Virginia for a night game, isn't it?
Definitely, definitely.
How do you combat something like that to try to keep everybody under control?
Combat. I'm sorry.
To go against a team like that.
Right.
That has all the emotion, all the passion, and all the night game, the lights, and everything else.
You just try to stay focused and do your job and rely on your teammates. You know what I mean? You know, it's one guy doing their job, one thing at a time, one step at a time. You try to keep your focus narrow, and everything should be okay. Yeah.
They're a team that you guys have had their number since Narduzzi got here. I mean, are you surprised at all that they're leading the Coastal? And I think they were picked last in the division by like the media and stuff going into the year.
You know, when I look at it, it's college football, so you know it doesn't really surprise me when a team that some people think wouldn't be good ends up being good, because you know you just never know. You know, they got transfer guys, they got really talented athletes, and then they're having a great season. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You go out there, and the hardest thing to do is win a college football game. That's because you never know what's going to happen. Both teams, you know, give their best shot. Virginia's had a great streak, and they've proven to be a good team over the long haul.
One of those transfer guys is the quarterback, of course. I mean, I know he's a dual threat, can beat you with his arm and his legs. Is there one area of the defense that he kind of tries to attack the most and exploit, so to speak?
Well, he's dynamic, you know. So you know, he's one of those guys you can't really hem him up in a box. You can. You just have to be really good. You know, he can attack you with his arm. He can attack you with his feet. So you know, we'll have to do a good job. You know, being solid all around, trying to keep him in the pocket, and you know, doing our best against him.
What are the challenges, Dennis, of being someone in the secondary when you play a mobile quarterback like that?
Yeah, you have to bring your entire game. You know, you can't just rely on your pass skills. You got to really be ready to tackle the quarterback, like he's a running back. You know, so a lot of times it's just, you know, as long as I shut down a quarterback, you know, I can go ahead and just do my coverage job. But you have to always be ready, because you could be perfect in coverage, and next thing you know, he could be running the complete opposite way. So, you know, you got to always be on your toes, and you got to have to give that extra effort, you know, because he has the extra capability.
Does it help that in your time at Pitt, you've faced a lot of quarterbacks like him?
Yeah.
You can fall back with some of the things you learned in the past?
Yeah. You know, every athlete is different. Every quarterback is different. So, you know, we're always working on scramble drills and things like that. But the guy's, like I said, he's a great thrower, a great runner. So we just have to be on our A game in general.
You guys spent some time in practice today. It was what we could see, you know, working on 3 receiver sets, you know, just some rub routes, like the things that you saw against Duke, you're going to see against them. I mean, what was the big point of emphasis during, you know, individual today with the secondary and just getting those things ironed out?
Man, you know, the emphasis is just fundamentals. You know, we really try not to, you know, change our game plan way too much for each team. Obviously, there are adjustments, but every week, you know, there are fundamentals that need to improve. Tackling is one of them from last week. Obviously, you know, locking your guy up one-on-one, you know, definitely got some one-on-one stuff, you know, this week, and just like every week. But the fundamentals are the things you have to focus and work on every single week, and that's what we're focused on today.
Bookser said he thinks this is the best scout team defense he's been against since he's been here. I mean, I don't know how much of them you get to see being with the ones, but
yeah.
I mean, what is impressing you about those young guys that are still fighting for playing time?
You know, honestly, I don't know, because we never see the scout team defense. I mean, like I said, talk about the scout team offense, but I can tell you, you know, obviously we've had guys on the scout team offense that are just extremely impressive. I mean, guys, I'm like, man, that guy's going to be in the game one of these days. So, I mean, our scout team in general has done a fantastic job preparing us for the game. So, you know, super happy with their effort.
What did you think of Malik on Saturday?
On Saturday, he was awesome. Saturday, he was awesome. He's fantastic. You know, definitely proud of him, and you know, he's been giving great effort. You know, since he stepped on campus, so it's been great.
Good to see Avante today, and how closely have you guys been following what he's been doing?
Man, you know, we watch every single rep. You know, he's out there. It's great to see him. It's great to see that he's doing well. He's one of my best friends, so I'm just super happy for him. You know, not only his on the field stuff, but maturity off the field, the way he's carrying himself, the way he's maturing as a person. It's awesome to see.
Did he speak to the guys at all, or just casual conversation?
He spoke to the guys.
What did he say?
Yeah, he just told us to have the knowledge, you know, going into the game. You know, as an NFL player, you know, he talked about how, you know, he was given the opportunity to play at different positions, and nobody told him to be ready for 3 positions. But you know, he went in and he studied, you know, those things on his own, and you know, that gave him an opportunity to get out there on the field. So he told us to replicate that in our efforts here.
Being teammates with him, could you kind of always see that in him, where you thought that he could be somebody who could end up one day in the spot that he's in now?
Oh my goodness, yeah, his work ethic speaks for itself. You know, the way he carries himself, his talent. I mean, he's definitely one of the most talented football players I've been around in then he's one of the hardest workers I've been around. I mean that. I don't mean that just because he's in the NFL doing great, but you know, that guy is passionate about the sport and what he does and just who he is. And there was no doubt in my mind he was going to be successful in the NFL.
Kind of an off-topic thing, Dennis. I was asking Bookser about this. When you room with a guy on the road, or I guess at the team hotel, what's that